What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Quick Bites.
I love that hat.
Did you see what they did at the U.S. Open? So the Fly Fish group did a private event, and like Bill Clinton and a bunch of celebrities showed up to it, and they like served food and stuff.
For the Fly Fish?
Yes.
And you remember?
I'm a member.
Could you have gone?
Yeah, I think so. But it was like a last minute thing.
Gotcha.
I know that they've been doing a bunch of like little pop-up events. Problem is it's all the way across the country in New York City.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it pans out.
That's where they're located. But.
So I brought this today. What do you think? Do you think
Masters Cup?
Live golfers are going to be allowed to play in the Masters next year?
I think so, just because it's not run by the PGA Tour.
But do you
majors.
think that they're pissed?
The master
organization? Yeah, it's the members that run the board of Augusta National.
Yeah. I don't know how it would affect them, because it's like...
I think it's more of a history thing where it's like, if you win the Masters, your lifetime, like you can play in it for the rest of your life.
Would this kind of be like betraying them in a way?
Potentially.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I've got two sides to it. One being kick them out. Don't let them play in the Masters because it's the first event of the year.
Yeah.
And see what happens. I mean, we've already experienced so much drama in this PGA Live golf thing, and it's pretty wild. So, update as well. Cam Smith, British Open winner.
Did you see his comment?
Yes. Now I'm going to be putting for a fuck ton of dough.
Yeah, that was funny.
It is true, though. It is true. I'm not going to say it on the podcast, but it's shocking. It's like, what is your number? 100 million, 200 million,
like to go
300 million. I mean, they talk about those numbers like it's just like monopoly money.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we're going to sign him for 150 million and then him for 100 million. I'm like, oh, nice. $100 million. It's a lot of money. That sets you up for like 4 generations if you're smart.
Smart, yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's a business transaction.
True.
That these guys are doing. Like Brooks said, he's like, I'm not going to miss playing the whatever Open in the middle of Minnesota or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, if
the Chevrolet Classic or something.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. But it's like if someone came to me and they were like, I don't know, this is not really comparable to me, but like, okay, let's say I'm a PGA golfer,
right?
And I'm working my ass off, can't make a cut, and this comes about, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm probably gonna take it because I mean, at the end of the day, they're doing this as a career and not just as a passion. Yes, It's both, but it's like if they have the chance to increase their income,
you have the chance to play golf for a living
300%.
and like quadruple your money without, and it's guaranteed money, I think too. I need to read into some of the documents on that. Like, is it paid out over 5 years? Is it a lump sum? Well, just like, hey, we're going to sign you for $200 million.
Yeah.
Like, is that a 10-year contract? Is that a 5-year deal? Do they get it right as they sign on the dotted line? I mean, I don't know if it's performance-based, but we've got a big event starts today in Boston.
Is that today?
Yep. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thanks to
54
Brooks.
holes, thanks to Brooks.
That's why I know about
You want
it.
to know something funny? So Dustin Johnson, obviously he's on the Live Tour now. His Twitter handle says Dustin Johnson PGA still. Someone tweeted about it this morning. It was hilarious. I was like,
probably changed it.
I don't know. Check it. We've been riding this golf thing for for a couple months now.
But his bio says LIV golf.
Come on, DJ.
They're just trolling him. Or he's
your
trolling
wife's
them.
hot, but come on, Paulina.
That's
We've been riding this train for a while, so I think we're going to pivot away from it unless there's just more golf drama. I think we have the golf obsession going into the fall, so it's still relevant.
Oh, I'm ready to
there's
play
some
golf till
fun
November
info.
this year.
Yes, it's still hot as hell out, dude.
I know. I'm
it's
like
105
let's push it
yesterday.
out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Maybe
warm.
into December this year. Who knows? That's the thing I love about Boise is they keep the courses open if there's no snow on the grounds.
Yeah, it's
so you can play at your own risk kind of thing.
I also I have winter gloves, like golf gloves that are like thin, but like still keep your hands warm.
They're so stupid, Riley.
So I'm like, I can play.
Those are terrible.
I can play in January.
Come on, man.
Hey, I gotta hit bombs in the winter.
Yep, bombs in the winter. What else is going on with Live Golf? We've got Cam Smith went over.
Finally announced it because it was rumored.
Yeah,
but
Scheffler was like walking his line. How about Rory winning the FedEx Cup Championship, winning 18 mil?
I didn't really see that coming.
I didn't either. Honestly. He was down 6 going into the final day.
I didn't really watch it, but Rory hasn't really been doing anything lately from like a winning standpoint.
Well,
I feel like
he's been crushing it, but he's been playing terrible day one of every one of his tournaments.
Yeah, he has.
At the Masters. So I went to the Masters this year, and he charged back and came in second, I think. Second or third. But he was the first day. Exactly. I think he was 6 back at the Masters, and he went like eagle on 13, 14, 12, 13, or 14, that par 5. And he charged back. I think he was only like 2 shots out because Scheffler like 4-putted the last hole to win still, barely, by like 1 shot.
Oh
that was
God.
great.
It was like 4 putts.
That was so cool
feet.
live too, because everybody was like dead silent when he missed a third one. It was like, uh-oh. Like, is he going to miss it again?
And he was like, I mean, was that his first? That was his first major, obviously. That wasn't his first win, though, was it?
No, he won like a couple weeks earlier on the PGA.
Yeah, but I think he just wasn't used to that pressure yet.
Yeah.
And it got to him.
It got to him, for sure.
It's just crazy, because personally, I don't know how they do it. Like, I'm like, if I was on the PGA Tour, I wouldn't be able to function. I don't think I would be able to hit.
The pressure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Muscle memory at that point. It's funny because Tiger even says too, like, he used to be so nervous too. Mm-hmm. I mean, we all have nerves, which is kind of cool. It's like, how do they control that? Like, I played in a tournament here locally and like made it to this horse race thing where everybody in the tournament usually watches the last couple of holes of this horse race thing, and the pressure is crazy. Like, you stand over the ball and there's like 50 to 100 people watching, and you're like, please don't whiff it.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to think and just swing, But
at the end of the day, like, if you think about yourself watching someone, you're not like dogging on him, like, oh, probably would have done that too.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
you
where
almost
are those
take it too
nerves
seriously
coming from?
sometimes.
And it's like everyone watching you, like you're a pretty good golfer. Like, half of them, more than half of them, probably couldn't do what you were doing. So it's like,
True. I was hitting some bombs yesterday at the indoor driving range at Golf Galaxy. I was trying to pull some Bryson DeChambeau moves, but
seriously
couldn't get the ball speed. Swing speed was like 125, 126. Okay. Swinging hard.
Yeah,
but it was fun. What else we got going? We've got Riley and I have this new great idea.
We have a great idea.
We have an amazing idea. Do you wanna share it with the listeners?
I don't even know where to start.
Because it's still like just this wild idea that Riley and I are gonna start a investment fund.
Correct.
But basically what it is we're not opening it to outside investors. We're just going to each invest a chunk of money at the end of the year and track it for 12 months and kind of play the game together. Be like, hey, what do you think about this trade? What do you think about this one? Should we do some options? So we'll have to open an account this fall. We'll get it all set up, and we'll keep you guys in tune on the pod.
Yes.
About how we do.
The Hanson Haggett Incorporated.
H&H. This is H squared investment firm.
H squared investments. Such a great ring to it.
That's got a great ring.
Yeah,
H&H. We'll come up with something.
Yeah,
good.
we'll come up with something.
We'll probably open it up to outside investors like year 3. I think when we have a really proven
and we'll
track
probably
record.
both have to get our like FINRA license.
Yeah, whatever that means. We'll figure that out as we go.
Tests.
Yep.
No, I think it'd be really fun because like we both are really into investing and stuff, and I think we know what we're doing to an extent.
Right.
I mean, obviously, when you compare us to the
just
average
got 10
person,
years on you. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. I have my strategy. Which I need to follow more. It's just it takes some time, so it's like if you're lazy, you're probably not gonna like it. Which even for me, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that today. But it was the one that made me find 2 stocks in my first year of trading that like 300% time,
Wow.
like plus.
Okay.
So it works. Like it really works. But it's just like being patient, taking the time to do the research, because it's an extensive process.
Right.
Sit down, choose a stock, run numbers on these statistics, and then chart it and look at
the charts.
There's like 4 or 5 steps that I take.
So Riley's going to be like the analytical one, and I'm going to just be like the forecaster, like
But
buy
like Jim
NVIDIA
Cramer
now.
said.
Yeah, Jim Cramer said this, so we should buy this.
I'll be like, all right, let's see.
Let's double check it. Let's look at the real numbers.
I think it'd be cool. We'll start with stocks and stuff, and then I see it turning into like a, have some real estate in there.
Yeah, we're gonna start a partnership, an investment firm partnership.
I like that.
And we probably won't raise any money for the first 3 to 5 years, but you never know what it could turn into. I'm really liking this idea.
I know,
and we'll track it though. Like
how
that's
did it,
the coolest
How did we
part.
even come up? It was literally last night, was it not?
Yeah, we were texting each other. Riley and I text each other like 24/7. Like, hey, did you see this? This is a good idea. We should do that. We should do that. I think that's why it works so well.
Yeah, I think, I don't even know, but it's like,
I don't even know how it started. I was like, hey, did you buy some of this stock? And you're like, oh, we should start a fund. And I'm like,
yeah, because
that's a dumb idea. And then I was like, well, wait, why don't we just pool some money together and we can start like our own investment fund and see how it does and then track it on the pod.
Yeah, it's like, because if we take our 5 common holdings together, put those automatically, and then choose like 2 to 3 that we both like research and find or whatever.
Yep.
I think it could be cool.
I know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to work together on something like that to see, and we'll probably start with something like 5 or 10 grand or something like that, and just track it for crazy. A year. And maybe we do like every 6 months we reevaluate if we want to make an additional investment into it, like if we're doing
adjustments.
Well. Yep. Yeah. But we'll track it like weekly on the pod if we buy anything new. I like the thing, once again, Jim Cramer, shout out to Mad Money. He has like this like system to where he's got like, okay, these ones are tier 1 stocks, so if they do dip the way that he wants them to, then they're automatic buys. And then he's got like a tier 2 stock that, if something drastic changes, then that will move into tier 1, then they'll buy it. So they've got like this tier system.
That's cool.
So I want to print out what he does, and then we can kind of talk through it and just like see if we can take some nuggets from his strategy, as well as others as well. So if you guys are out there and have some investment knowledge, shoot it to the pod. We'll answer your questions.
Fun fact about Mad Money: when every TikTok I recorded not this January, but the January before, when I was doing my TikTok. God, it's already been almost 2 years. That's crazy. I would have Mad Money playing in the background.
Ding, 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 ding.
So like from an algorithm standpoint, when there's more movement in your TikTok videos, they do better.
Right.
So at first I was just tripod on my phone tripod on my desk, talking to my phone. Views were all right, and then it was like, took my phone out the tripod, started walking around my room, had the TV on, had some LED lights going, and my views. That's when I got like 500,000 views on this one, and then it was like thousands.
That's crazy.
It was cool, but it was funny because it was always Mad Money on the background.
When I was
doing it.
Oh, so you put it on the TV in the background. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so fun fact.
That was a good little TikTok hack. Thanks, Jim, for being a background noise for Riley. So investment fund H&H coming soon. So we'll update you guys on that.
Yeah, I was like, and eventually it'll, obviously like it takes a ton of work to like manage stuff, but like if it was to the point where people could just buy the H&H share that has percentages.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
like
we could be the next Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah.
Seriously, guys, that just got announced. We could be like in our 80s, we'll be sitting up there like all crotchety and old.
With our $10 billion.
Yeah, with our $10 billion saying, guess what, young Padawans or whippersnappers, you guys just invest and hold for the long term.
Isn't that
you guys
crazy?
Will be rich.
It's always curious to me because like I'm so young and haven't had really much experience in anything. Like in 10 years, like what will stick and what won't.
Right.
Like what ideas do I just randomly have that will actually come to life and like do well? And then what are like...
Or when you're like in your 40s and you're like, oh shit, that was a great idea. And someone else is making billions off of it or something.
Yeah, that's why it's like, was I talking to you about it? Oh, no, I was talking to someone else, but I think I was talking to Tate about a business idea. And I was like, you can have all the ideas, but I was like, if you don't act on it, someone else is going to, and then you're going
Yes.
to be regretting it your whole life.
That's exactly true. And that's something that's very pivotal that I've learned over the years is like, it's all about action and like taking steps forward and not worrying about having it all figured out on the front end,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, yes, because it's super hard to do something when you don't know what you're doing. It's uncomfortable. It's
But
almost
there's
like trying
also
to.
an ignorance is bliss key
Yep.
to that I've found success in.
I'm a great
Let's
example
just
of
try it.
When I started my business and called it Hanson Media, I had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
I don't even know. And then like I said, it's kind of like you're walking in a line blindfolded. It's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? But it's like sometimes that blindfold, that ignorance is needed.
Exactly.
Because it's like there's so many things that I bypassed without thinking of that allowed me to keep going. Because if I had to learn about my LLC and getting my EIN and doing this process to get this, I probably would have been like, oh, that's way too much work. I'm not going to do it. But then, like, I figure that out after the fact. It's a little bit easier
to figure out.
But it will, yeah, because it's like it allows you to get to from point A to point B, and then you can deal with all that junk.
Right.
But it's like getting to the point where you're like,
and it's just attempting and trying. I have some binders and notebooks. I had so many good ideas, like just ideas that I thought could like revolutionize like the real estate world and like
are you
social
acting on
media.
any of those?
Well, obviously for what I do is like very content driven real estate attention is kind of where I've gone. But it's like some of these, I had this idea for like an app called Circulating that was like a local, hyper local, like real estate listing platform that all the agents could subscribe to for like $20 and obviously we have the MLS and I learned more about how useful that is now, but it's like, maybe there's a mix between a social media app and something like that. And then I go see like a few dudes from $1 Million Listings start their own social media apps. And I'm like, that's interesting. You know?
I see what you're saying.
And I think what it boils down to in some of those ideas, it's like, okay, great ideas need funding. Like, are you going to self-fund that? Or are you going to raise money? Raising money is very dangerous, but at the same time, it's like, if your idea pops and you like 100x your, original idea with funding, like, there you go. You're done.
In the last couple of years, some insider information seeing from like a CPG brand that I work with, it's like it's been super easy to raise money the last 2 to 3 years.
Interesting.
But one, that's not sustainable. And two, yeah, if you raise $5 million and are in the
you look at like some of these big companies, like they still burn money. Like Snapchat doesn't turn a profit.
Yeah.
But they like generate so many millions and billions of dollars worth of sales. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's insane.
I feel like I couldn't sleep at night if I ran a company like that.
Well, that's why it's like bigger is not always better, I feel like. Because if you can run a smaller business and make $100,000 a year and just chill.
Yeah.
Or you can try to run a $50 million business and make
a mill.
Yeah.
But
then you're stressed all the time. Yeah.
Can't sleep,
Getting
lose
fat,
your hair,
yeah.
eat McDonald's for lunch every day. Well, huge announcement in Boise this morning. A brand new Micron manufacturing facility.
Okay.
$15 billion worth.
That's a lot.
Investment over the next 10 years. So
okay.
This new facility that they're looking to build off of Federal Way. So Micron started in Boise 1978.
Like they started
here. They started here in Boise in the basement
cool.
of a dentist office.
Okay.
How freaking rad is that?
That's dope. That's a dope story.
That's so cool. Like, and you look at them now and shoot, what are they worth? I don't even know how much Micron's worth, but some absurd amount. Obviously the largest employer in Idaho from, in 1990s to 2000s. But this new facility in some ways was facilitated by the CHIPS and Science Act that was just passed in the government that is funding more local, and when I say local, United States manufacturing of chips, processors, memory, things like that. That's basically what Micron does is they create memory. I've got a buddy that works there and like every time I'm like, well, what does Micron actually do? He goes, they create memory. And I'm like, that's really fascinating. So they're technically building the deep like the little keyboard that memorizes everything for you. Just like really weird to me. Like I think they supply memory for Apple, and because memory is different than a processor.
Correct.
Like processing. One, it's like what
type of memory? Work. Is it RAM or is it SSD? Know. Is it because RAM is like short-term memory. So when you're on, like when I'm editing a video, it's storing things temporarily right there as I'm editing. But then like SSD is like I'm putting a 3 GB video and it's storing it
for like later.
That's like the very like
base level. Yeah. But that makes sense though. It's like just taking pictures until it's ready to save the full thing.
Correct.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So like that's why I need a lot of RAM for video editing, is because like I'm doing a lot of stuff all at once that needs like the memory needs like diversified, and it needs to be like I need more memory. I need more short-term memory for all the tasks that it's handling.
That's super interesting.
I just saw, so they made $8.6 billion last year.
Micron?
Revenue, and then they profited $2.6 billion.
Oh, okay.
Their market cap's $65 billion.
Ooh. That started in the basement of a dentist office in 1978. So how many years ago was that?
Quick growth.
That's like 45, 50 years, right? 20 and 20. Yeah, like 45 years.
Okay. I mean,
that's wild.
That's still
still some of the original creators are around in their 50s, 60s. I know a guy that retired at Micron that now like has a private jet, plays golf, like, but like engineer, like kind of nerdy.
Yeah.
So he wears like, total dork.
Isn't that hilarious? The people that make the most money, like, don't enjoy it as like a normal person would.
And that like speaks to like what Gary Vee talks about a lot, is it's like I have so many billionaire friends that are unhappy. Why are you wasting your life doing something that you potentially don't enjoy to do? This drives me nuts. There's so many ways to make money with these damn devices.
Dude,
Facebook Marketplace, free couches, flip that shit. Like
Kevin? Is that his name?
Yep, Kevin Cooney.
Yep.
Morning alarm.
His video was good today.
Was it?
Yeah.
Watch it right now. I need to watch it.
I've been listening.
But what do you think about that? Like being happy in your current position, how crucial is that? I mean, you have a different perspective than me because, once again, you're 10 years younger than me. Makes me feel old. I like saying that, though.
Well, I'll just use my parents as an example. My mom just quit her supervising job that she's had for 20-some years.
Okay.
And she just quit it. And she's just so happy.
Really?
Right now. She does not, like, obviously, the financial gain / loss from doing that was so outweighed from wanting to be happy, because she was like a tech for a while, and then she became the supervisor probably 10 plus years ago, and it was great, and then new management, new owners, and it was like shitty. And
my job.
So she was stressed for like 5 years straight, but didn't start to see the effects of it until like 2 years ago.
Okay.
And then she was like, I need to get out of here. And then she finally pulled the trigger. It took her like 6 months probably to like decide to actually just leave. Because she had a little retention bonus from a year ago that she had to give up like part of it.
Yep. Dude, that's the other thing that's like crazy. Some of these companies like hook, line, and sinker. Like if you work for Amazon's a decent example. Like you get so many stock options that you can't like exercise for at least like 5 or 10 years or like, crazy? But from the company side of things, like super smart, because you have to have employees and you have to have people. I would say that like 20 to 30% of your workforce needs to kind of hate their job.
Yeah.
Because you just got to have bodies at some point.
But honestly, there's more often than not, I talk to people and they're like, I just want a 9 to 5 where I make $50K a year.
Yeah.
Because I don't like, some people are just wired like that.
I know, it is. There's a certain place for everybody. You just have to be self-aware to know what your thresholds are. But being optimistic at the same time to try new opportunities, because maybe there's something that you don't know you loved.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm listening to the Psychology of Money still.
Okay. How's it going? Give me an update.
Great. I was on the treadmill the other night listening to it, and it was in the chapter about risk, I think, or something. Anyway, it was talking about like how is someone who is 18 years old supposed to decide what they want to do when they're 45? Like those are two different people. 18-year-old you and 45-year-old you are like not even the same person at
Oh
all.
yeah, 18-year-old me and 28-year-old me, totally different.
Exactly.
Person.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, you're 18, you want to go be an engineer. Maybe when you're 45, you want to be a chef for a family.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Random crap. So I just put that in perspective, and I'm like, the whole time I've done video, I've always been real with myself, and I'm like, I don't even know if this is what I'm going to be doing in 10 years or 5 years, let alone. So it's like being real with yourself.
But you enjoy it at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm taking it by the balls for the time and having a great time with it.
And there's like a creative art that brings you fulfillment, I think, in video.
Oh,
because you also have a business brain, like you think like a business owner, not like a creative artist.
Yeah.
But you have that skill that brings you happiness in ways. It's pretty interesting.
And when that is gone, not the skill, but maybe the passion or whatever, the business mindset is transferable to a different industry,
right?
In a way.
Kevin Cooney's morning alarm.
Diarrhea the moment we enter the month of September. I get like nervous first day of school jitters. You know what I mean? I woke up this morning and immediately was like, "Where's my cursive workbook?" I gotta remind myself I'm an adult who like pays taxes and shit.
My cursive workbook.
Good Lord. Remember cursive though, huh? Holy hell. Bigfoot's coming up. Gotta know cursive.
Gotta know cursive.
Did you learn about taxes or like how interest rates work? No. Said public schools, we'd rather you learn how to write your wedding invitation by hand and then mail them via owl.
Who knows cursive anymore?
September 1st, baby. Good morning, you.
Bad, beautiful bitch, you.
Right? Never mixing the water, right?
If you haven't seen Kevin Cooney, he's got a great morning alarm.
He's hilarious. I
he
love
fires me up every day. I've got him on like bells, so I get all of his stories.
Like notifications.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
did anyone else get immediate diarrhea?
Yeah, pretty much to just summarize, just like this is your path to financial freedom and or happiness.
Yes.
Those usually correlate, but
new Micron building. I think that's going to be great for our market. I think it's going to bring a lot of jobs.
Oh, for sure.
I want to look into it a little bit more, but the application's actually been submitted to the city for the development project. Yep. In plans. And obviously that's a very long process. So I would say that they wouldn't even start on something like that for at least 18 months.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's going to be pivotal for our local market because it's going to be their first, I believe it's their first manufacturing facility in all of the US, and it's here in Idaho.
That's
like,
cool.
That's pretty wild because we don't have a lot of manufacturing here. Like we've got Albertson's headquarters here, but we don't have like, people don't make stuff here besides corn.
Yeah. What else?
A big lump of nuts.
Because we got, I mean, it's funny because like
that's going to be a really good clip here in like a couple days. Have you seen that trend?
The corn one?
Yeah. It's annoying.
Did you see Chipotle?
No.
Use the kid?
Oh my God.
Oh God,
so smart.
So genius.
So smart.
Like I want to be a part of initiatives like that in a company. Like I want to be the reason
trending.
that happened.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I want to be the reason that companies are doing, that are like innovating properly.
Well, yeah.
It fires me up.
It's paying attention to it's paying attention to attention.
Yeah, like that's what I'm doing with you.
Yeah,
like,
and this is what our podcast is all about.
Yeah,
is paying attention to what's attention. Like,
I'll show you it.
Corn, I love corn. Now there's like girls on TikTok trying to dance to this shit, and I'm like, I don't want to know about your lump of knots and your corn. That's so good. So smart. So smart.
And you see how easy that video is to make?
That was shot on an iPhone.
Yeah, and it was 15 seconds long, and it has 30 million views.
I bet you they paid the kid like $300 too.
Yeah,
no,
they
seriously,
probably didn't pay him that much.
Like, it's wild what some of these people will.
Well, they don't understand the value, like the parents.
Yeah,
like they don't.
Yeah, exactly. They don't get it.
Yeah, but just like that's. I mean, Chipotle's on top of their social media.
He needs an agent right away.
Yeah. But Chipotle
and you got to ride it out.
Yep, Chipotle's on top of their marketing and social media.
Yeah, they do a good job with their marketing and stuff. Just got to cook their chicken a little bit more sometimes. Been getting some raw chicken recently. Well, you know, like the once in 5 times you go to Chipotle, it just like gives you the diarrhea.
I have yet to experience that.
That happens to me. It's like 1 out of every 3 times I go to Chipotle, it just runs through me. I think it's because I make pretty damn good chicken at home.
Yeah.
So it's hard. All right, podcast. Whatever episode this is, Quick
10.
Bites. Number 10. Wow, we're on a roll.
So we've been doing it for 2.5 months straight.
Fuck, that's awesome.
Because we do 1 a week.
All right. So one thing for the listeners, let's get some questions rolling in here.
Yeah.
I think that'd be helpful. Can we post the full length episode on Instagram?
No.
Or no? Okay. We just need to drive some more traffic to that somehow. Because I think there's a 15-minute video cap.
I think it's 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some topics, some questions, some guest recommendations.
Yes, we're still waiting to host our first guest. We're ready, but we're coming out with a banger of a first guest. Like we're going to the moon, like Jeff Bezos or Musk. Like we're getting someone big before we have a guest.
Yeah.
Trust us. We'll be there someday.
Be a big
Elk Boys, we're taking over. Logan Paul, your podcast ain't shit. Let's go.